always dreamed of visiting Rome. Living and working in a small country without its own embassy, I often heard stories about the Eternal City, the ancient ruins, stunning architecture, and vibrant culture. So, when I learned that I needed to travel to Rome to renew my passport, I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. This was my chance to explore a city I had only seen in movies and travel documentaries. As I stepped off the plane at Fiumicino International Airport, I was immediately swept up in a whirlwind of activity. The arrivals hall buzzed with travelers, each with their own stories and destinations. I felt a rush of adrenaline as I navigated through the overcrowded terminal. Knowing I had to renew my passport, I quickly decided to find a taxi, because I arrived just after midnight. However, the queue was overwhelming. It snaked around the terminal, filled with weary travelers. The heat of the day only added to the chaos, making the experience feel even more frantic. After what felt like an eternity, I finally reached the front of the line, only to encounter a taxi driver who seemed more interested in haggling over fares than getting me to my destination. With no other option, I reluctantly agreed to a fare in the absence of better option. As we drove through the bustling streets of Rome, I gazed out the window in awe. The ancient buildings, with their intricate facades and vibrant colors, seemed to whisper stories of the past. The next day, after arriving at my hotel, I quickly dropped off my luggage and headed out to explore. I had heard about the famous fountains scattered throughout the city, and I was eager to find one. As I wandered through the sun-drenched streets, I stumbled upon a small piazza where a beautiful fountain bubbled. To my delight, I discovered that the water was drinkable. I filled my bottle, savoring the refreshing taste, and marveled at how the locals casually filled their containers, chatting and laughing around the fountain. However, as I made my way toward the Colosseum, the mood shifted. I had read about street performers and vendors, but nothing prepared me for the aggressive presence of some individuals lingering around the iconic landmark. Dressed in costumes, gladiators, Roman soldiers, and other characters, they tried to entice tourists to take photos with them for a fee. At first, I was amused, but soon I felt the pressure as some of them began to shout and gesticulate wildly, attempting to intimidate me into giving them money. Just a photo. Just a few euros, they yelled, their voices rising above the din of tourists. I felt a knot in my stomach. I politely declined and hurried past, feeling the weight of their gazes on my back. It was a stark contrast to the beauty of the Colosseum, which loomed majestically ahead. Once I reached the Colosseum, I was in awe. The ancient structure stood as a testament to Rome's grandeur, its stones telling tales of gladiators and emperors. I joined the throngs of tourists, snapping photos and soaking in the atmosphere. Despite the earlier intimidation, I couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. Walking through the arches, I imagined the vibrant spectacles that once filled the arena. After exploring, I decided to grab a quick bite nearby. The food stalls offered mouth-watering options, and I indulged in a slice of Roman pizza, its thin crust and fresh toppings quickly becoming a favorite. Sitting on a nearby bench, I watched as life unfolded around me, the laughter of children, the chatter of tourists, and the occasional street artist showcasing their talents. The following day, I planned to visit the embassy to renew my passport. However, as I arrived at the train station, I quickly realized something was amiss. The normally bustling station was filled with confusion and frustration. The announcement board displayed a single word, strike. Panic set in as I tried to figure out how I would reach the embassy. Trains were cancelled, and the personnel, clad in red vests, were either unhelpful or too busy arguing among themselves to assist travelers. I felt the weight of urgency. I needed to complete my task before my short trip ended. After some time, I managed to find a bus that would take me closer to my destination, but it was packed. I squeezed in, standing shoulder to shoulder with other passengers, gripping the overhead rail as the bus jolted through the city. The ride was an adventure in itself, navigating the narrow streets filled with scooters weaving in and out. Finally reaching the embassy, I felt a wave of relief wash over me. The staff was professional yet friendly, guiding me through the renewal process. It was a stark contrast to the chaos outside. After what felt like hours, I left with a sense of accomplishment, clutching my new passport. As I stepped back into the vibrant streets of Rome, I felt a renewed sense of freedom. I had overcome the challenges of my journey and was ready to make the most of my remaining days in the city. I wandered through the streets, discovering hidden gems, a quaint cafe here, a lively market there. I even found another fountain, this one adorned with intricate sculptures, where I paused to enjoy the tranquility it offered. My trip to Rome was not just about renewing my passport. I realized that travel is often unpredictable, filled with unexpected challenges and beautiful moments. The city, with its chaotic charm and rich history, had left an indelible mark on me. As I prepared to board my flight home, I knew I would carry the memories of Rome with me, its stunning architecture, the taste of authentic pizza, the kindness of strangers, and even the lessons learned amid chaos. Rome had become more than just a destination, it was a reminder that adventure often lies just beyond our comfort zones.